It's your girl Flex, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Also, make sure to comment down below. I have a few things I want to say that's just not sitting right with me, but for now, here's the live.
Line of questioning and probably told her ass, we know you like switching the stories up, but you could go to jail if you lie on the stand. I got to imagine they told her that.
The defense actually raised a good point after we took a lunch break, and they said, Megan, you and your team had talked. You and the people spoke. And what was that about? And she said, it was just about me opening up a little bit more. And they said, did they tell you that you need to open up more, or did you say that? And she said, no, I said that. So there was absolutely a discussion. I'm sure prior, because it did sound very rehearsed. But you do that with all clients. You vet them and you go over shit. But you could tell Megan, they had to tell Megan to pause, hold on, because sprouting off at the mouth, trying to get these answers out that I feel like she had rehearsed.
Damn.
But she brought up how her and Kelsey was best friends since freshman year of college, and that she became her assistant. And she said, Kelsey, will go everywhere with me. She said before the 12th, they did everything together. All right, we immediately go into Kylie's house. They say July 12th, you went to Kylie's house. They said when? Early evening. Okay, Megan says that they were there at least 5 hours before Tory even got there. It was EJ, Kelsey, and Megan that rode together to get to the party. Megan said when she got there, they all was hanging out, having some drinks, and that she went to the kitchen to cook. And that she brought the food out from the kitchen to, I guess, the pool area, wherever they were. She brought that out. They said, Megan, are you nervous? She said, I'm not nervous. I just don't feel good because I can't believe I got to do this. I can't believe I have to sit here in front of people, who have been spreading misinformation and tell my story and sit in front of the man who shot me, start getting real, I feel like elevated in her tone. And I'm going to tell you something else. They did not want me in the courtroom today.
Wait, what?
And a lot because of our lives. And because of the joke that was made that, oh, well, the phone, we could, it was a little joke about, oh, yes, get a phone. And you could get something up in there, like, whoop. Yeah. There was a lot today about the phone and a concern that I may have been streaming live from the fucking courtroom like a fucking idiot. Why the fuck would I ever do that? But, yeah, a whole bunch of op shit because I feel like get the fuck up off my live. But anyway, she said she didn't feel good. She said Corey, Kylie, and her friends were at the party, and Megan texted Tory to come over. She said Tory came over really late, and by the time Tory even got there, a lot of people were gone. So it was just Kylie, Kelsey, Tory, Corey Gamble, and whoever else was out there. So when Tory got there, she said everybody got in the pool. Megan said her wig was starting to slip. And that's the reason why she wanted to leave. After she had been in the pool, she said the wig started slipping, literally.
Does she mention if there was any other arguments that was happening prior to that? Whether it was maybe any disagreements with, before Tory got there or
dropped Tory off, and that after Tory got there, that she said, I'm not leaving without Tory. So if you can convince Tory to leave, then we can go. But testimony has already been given that she got in the car and rode. Megan, Tory, and Kelsey, and Quan. No, Meg, Tory, Kelsey, and Quan is sitting up at the party, and she jumps. She didn't say nothing about Quan taking them back to the house. She said she don't remember that. She don't remember getting in Tory's car and going to the house and coming back. She don't remember none of that. She said all she remembers had an attitude, and by the time that finally Tory never said he didn't want to go and never gave her a reason, so they outlined like yours. She acknowledged that Tory said you need to stop lying to your friend, and that is what sparked an argument. And Megan said I knew Kelsey had a crush, so I didn't want her to know that we had been intimate. That's what she said. And then she later said in a real attitude type of way, Kelsey had a crush on him. They was never together. So I didn't sleep with him like behind her back. I've never backdoored her. They said, well, why did she say that? You ain't asked her why she said that? She said, no. I ain't never backdoored her. She ain't never backdoored me. I don't know why she said, but she had a crush. I just didn't want her to know that I had been intimate with him because she liked him. Child police. So then she said, well, everybody got into an argument. She said Kelsey was mad, but Tory was mad too. and that it was more so them. Then she jumps to getting out on Sunset Boulevard. And she says the only reason that she got back in the car was because she was up and coming, you know, coming into her fame and had on a thong bikini. And she didn't want to be spotted on the street looking crazy. That's why she got back in the car the first time. And she said that her phone was dying or already dead, but she couldn't remember. But I would like to note that I saw 2 chargers in the evidence photos. There was a charger in the front seat and a charger in the back seat. Bitches could have charged their phone. I feel like it's a lie, but whatever.
Holy.
Okay. People back in the car, and she say they were still arguing about the shit. Kelsey and Tory was arguing. She said, look, I ain't want to be in it, so I wanted to get out. So she said, I can walk to my house, you know? And then she heard dance, bitch, as she was walking away. Now Megan in court says she wasn't walking to the back of the car. She was walking towards the front. It took her 2 or 3 seconds, and Tory said, dance, bitch, and she looked over her left shoulder. And when she looked over her left shoulder, she saw him with a gun. Then she just froze. And he starts to shoot. So did she remain looking back at him? I didn't get an understanding of that. And I wish they would have kind of like...
I do have one question, and whether the answer comes from Meg or from the police detectives, did it say how far the shooter was from Meg when they fired the shot? Because this sounds like it's pretty close.
You know what? And you're going to think this shit look crazy, but I drew it verbatim. They made Megan draw on the back of the evidence photo, okay? They made her draw a picture of where she was, and I did it verbatim, I promise you. And anybody that was there knows that this is real. Please, people, look at this photo. I swear to God, that's what Megan drew. Megan said she's about, I swear to God, Megan said she's about 8 feet, okay? About 8 feet away. And that is what she drew. If they ever let y'all see evidence photos, you will see that my shit looks just like that. Okay? It looked just like that. Let's get to the juicy shit. Fuck all this other bullshit. And so she said that she felt shocked and all of that shit. And she didn't see where Kelsey was or nothing like that. She went over to the driveway and she said it was blurry. She said, they said, did you see Kelsey and Tory get into a physical fight? She said, no. I saw them bump each other. And they asked her to describe what that meant, and she really couldn't. She said, I think they bumped into each other, and I saw both of them coming towards me, but it's just really, really, really blurry.
And this is after the shot, so all she saw was that they bumped into each other.
That they bumped into each other and came towards her. That's what she said. And then she said she doesn't remember what he said at that time. But you recall, she first said that he started saying, I'm sorry, don't say nothing, I give you $1 million. But now she says, no, I don't remember what he said. It's all a blur. And she said shortly after they got back in the car, that's when they heard.
So she does not repeat on the stand that Tory offered her $1 million. Right there.
Not at that time. She says that all she remembers is later when the cops, she said as soon as they heard sirens in the background, that basically Tory started to panic and was like, oh, don't say nothing. I'll give you $1 million. I'm on probation. I can't go back to jail. Some bullshit like that. And so, what I feel like fucked Megan up majorly was saying, well, I didn't know where I was. The defense tried to get Megan to outline where she was in the street, like where did the car stop and what was this and what was that. Megan claimed that she was about to walk home, but she said that the phone was dead or dying. So you couldn't use your GPS. Megan said she didn't know where she was, but said that she lived up the hill and was going to walk home. So did you know where you were or not? Did you know where you were headed or not? Like, come on, it don't make no sense. She said Kelsey was in the car crying. She was crying. And they said, had you ever seen Kelsey with a gun? And did you ever see Kelsey with the gun at night? She said, no. They said, did you know that Tory had a gun? She said, no. Were there any other injuries, like to Kelsey, like not that she knew of, and that she was bleeding in the car, and that, you know, Kelsey was being of assistance to her. And she said that I told them that I stepped on glass because of the George Floyd situation. Huh?
And not to cut you off, did they ask her that prior to the situation, once she got in the car, did she, because, you know, Tory didn't have a shirt on.
Right.
He just had like swimming trunks on. Did she see the gun before? Like, was it on the center console?
Did she not seen the gun before? And when they said, they made a really good point. She said on the stand, I didn't have no gun. Kelsey didn't have no gun because we had the bikinis on. So we didn't have nowhere to have no gun. So the defense said, well, where did Tory have space to have a gun? Because he just had on swim trunks. She said she don't remember what he had on. She doesn't remember.
Okay.
She said in the black community, it's not acceptable to snitch. That's why she didn't want to cooperate. And that's why she lied about the glass. She didn't want to be cooperating with authorities. And she said, when you're a woman and you say a man did something to you, don't nobody believe it. And she said that the industry is nothing more than a boys' club. And she felt like everybody was going to hate her. She said that.
Did she answer why she got back in the car with the nigga who just shot at her 5 times?
Yeah, I will read it, but I believe that she said that she was just scared. She was nervous. She needed to get home. She know she was. It had happened so fast and like she didn't know what to do. Like she put it like she was just so in shock and didn't know what was going on.
Did they ask the question of, did Tory force you to get back in or did you willingly get back in?
They didn't ask her, did he force her to get back in? But they said, and you got back in the car, and why did you get back in the car? And then she answered as follows, which was okay, well, I got back in because, it was in the middle of the street, it was late, it was dark, whatever the case may be. But she said it was so blurry. And then she goes into not remembering all of the key shit. Megan didn't remember nothing that would have incriminated her damn self. She remembered everything that was simply, he shot me. But every time they asked a valuable question, I don't remember all that bullshit. And to the point where it was getting agitated. Because it was like, girl, come on. Even when it came to the luggage, they said, Megan, what was yours in the car? Like, was this your purse? Oh, I don't know if that was my purse. I got a lot of bags. Shit like that, being a smart ass and shit. Let me see. She said she had surgery and that they took the bullet fragments out. She said she had physical therapy for a few months, every day at first, and then on and off, and that she couldn't even walk for a while.
Wait, for a few months?
She said she had physical therapy for months.
Was twerking part of the physical therapy?
That's what I'm trying to understand, because we saw Megan soon after the shooting, and she looked just fucking fine. But she said she was in physical therapy for months, and she said she couldn't walk for a while, and that she couldn't feel the left side of her foot. She said she still got nerve damage, and she can't really feel the left side of her foot, and that the back of her feet are always sore. That's what she said. They showed us the regular ass pictures. They brought up how Tory texted Megan that night after the shooting. They put the text on the screen saying, I'm sorry. And then Megan claims that Tory texted her from another number and said, I see you on live and I can see the pain in your eyes. I hope you get through this. And that she was just taken aback that he would do this to her and then tell her, I saw you, I'm watching you. And she made it sound like a threat, kind of, when she said, like, oh, you watching me, you see me, you see the look in my eyes.
Wait, what day was this? Like, when did he send her the text?
When he sent the text from the other phone.
Yeah, but is this directly after it happened or like months later or weeks later when she's on Instagram Live?
They didn't even get into when that could have come in.
Okay.
At all. I will tell you, Tamika Mallory was there. Desiree Perez was there. T. Farris was there.
Desiree Perez was there?
Desiree Perez was in the building.
Rock Nation Honcho.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Did they get into... So did she admit that she was giving Kelsey a severe case of the beats?
She denied a physical altercation completely with Kelsey. She said they never had a fight.
So how did she ever explain why they found acrylic nails, Kelsey's pendant,
right,
and basically like proof that she was getting thrown around like a rag doll?
She said there was never a physical altercation between her and Kelsey. And then she says that when the shooting happened, they got out the car, bumped into each other, and came towards her. Now, make it make sense, because this is happening very quickly. Because remember, the police come and get the phone calls was placed 4:22, 4:26, and shit like that. The police is hemming them up by like 4:30. The message that Kelsey sent to Justin was at 4:27. So, babe, this is happening very, very, very rapidly. So, make it make sense, Megan. Something happened. In a witness states he saw a woman get out of the back seat and attacked the woman in the front, and that it spilled off into the street. She categorically denied the whole thing. Said there was no physical altercation between her and Kelsey, and she did not speak to a physical altercation between Tory and Kelsey. They said, Megan, this Kathy's house talking to her people. You a private person? She say, yeah. They say, are you having a hard time opening up? That's when Megan started with the tears and said, yeah, because I got to sit in front of people who will spread misinformation about me and then my attacker, but I don't want to be weak. And I don't want to give them the power that I feel like they had over me for the past almost 3 years. And so they said, Megan, did you hear anything? And she said, gunshots. They say, how many? She said, I don't know. They played the audio of the gunshots, and they said, was that it? And she said, yeah. And she said yes, but she shook her head no. And she did that a couple of times, and that was very interesting to me, those micro expressions when she did that bullshit, where she would answer the question verbally one way, but she would nod in a yes motion. I wish to God that y'all could see the way that she behaved today. Very theatrical. Nancy Dillon even called her animated today. And I think that that was the proper term. It was a lot for a little bit. And her energy absolutely shifted after talking to the people when we came back from lunch. Megan was much more reserved at first. She had her moments at the beginning. But when she came back after lunch, hollering, getting real hard, getting real arrogant, it was a completely different attitude. So they said, Megan said, as soon as Tory started shooting, she looked down. She said she just saw that he was holding the gun. She said, he said, dance, bitch. And she turned around, he was holding the gun. But she said she looked down. They said, did you see him fire the shots? She said, no. She said that she was scared. Yeah, she said, no, she did not see. She said she saw him with the gun, and he said, dance, bitch. But she did not see him fire the shot. She immediately looked down and froze. So she said she was terrified. The police had guns out, and she got handcuffed. And she said she felt like no one cared about her. Here goes the crying noises again, but no tears. Okay. And so they said, well, how did you feel when you got cuffed to the bed in the ambulance? She said, like I didn't matter. And they questioned her again about the boys club in the industry. And she said, every man in a position took Tory's side and have given me hell. Okay. So then she gets elevated in her tone at this point. And she said, and they just want to keep making it about who I had sex with and not about the fact that I got shot. And I don't like that. This is not about who I slept with. This ain't about my sex life, basically. It's about the shooting. She said, I had just got a feature with Beyonce, and now she got to see me get shot. Literally, this is what this girl said. She said, I didn't want this to come out, and I never would have said if it wasn't for Tory. But the whole case too is the defense said, well, you said that you didn't want to say nothing, but 4 days later you did say something. So what is it that Tory posted that triggered you? She said it wasn't that Tory posted anything, but that his publicist was out here planning narratives. Megan said every time a blog that was friends with Tory posted something, she sent it off to her people so that they could see it. And I guess she was feeling attacked. Well, that falls flat because in the first couple of days, Tory was silent and we didn't even know what was going on. So, bitch, you came out on the 15th and told everybody I got shot as a result of a crime committed against me. We didn't know shit. All we knew was Tory got arrested. There was a gun in the car and you had a glass injury because that's what was said at first. And you went to the hospital. We thought Megan was okay. Nobody knew anything about a shooting. So they said, did you ever send any of these things that you saw, these narratives? You know, no. She don't have no proof of what she claims she saw that triggered her to say something. So then she said, do you think that your career was and is big stories? She said, yeah. And smirked. Okay, that she got the bigger career. She said, this was worse for me. Tory, the one that gained fans. She said, I've been a villain. How he a victim now? She said, this messed up my whole life. And so she said I wasn't gonna say nothing. She said if I wasn't party, and if I wouldn't have been around these bad people, this would have never happened. Now everybody doing me bad. She said she didn't say anything because she thought that it was embarrassing about fucking Tory. They said, why did you lie about having sex with Tory? She said, because I'm disgusted. She said, how could somebody I
said that verbatim?
Yeah. She said, because I'm disgusted. She said, how could somebody I shared my body with shoot me? So she didn't want to tell nobody if they had had sex. She said, now every week they putting a new nigga on her body. She said, my partner, this is the first time I feel like I saw real emotion. She said, my partner is embarrassed of me because of the rumors. And then it looked like she started to, like there was some real emotion. I didn't see no tears, but it seemed like she really felt a way about that. And they said, well, she about your partner. And that's when she said, Party, talking about her boyfriend, Party. And so she was like, yeah, he embarrassed me, you know, every day, you know, these different rumors and shit come out. And so Megan verbatim said, I wish that he would have shot and killed me. She said, if I knew that I would have had to go through this torture, then she would have rather been dead, basically. So she literally said, I wish he would have shot and killed me if I knew that I was going to have to go through this. Okay. She said, Kelsey and I were best friends. And the reason why she don't fuck with Kelsey no more is because she met Tory at a hotel. I'm finna poke a hole in that. Megan say that she stopped fucking with Kelsey because Kelsey went to the hotel. I would like to know when she went to the hotel, because Megan left for New York right after she got out the hospital. She goes right to New York, flies to New York. She didn't take Kelsey with her. So when did Kelsey call you and tell you that she was at the thing? Because what was your initial issue with her then? That you didn't even take her. This was your assistant and best friend. She said, I only wanted, and this is what was interesting too. When she got shot allegedly and was in the hospital, she said, I only wanted T. Ferris there with me. Even though Kelsey was waiting outside and she knew it, she said, I only wanted T. Ferris in there with me, and we can only have one person because of COVID at the time. So she acknowledged that she did not want Kelsey in the room. My thing is, if you and Kelsey were not arguing and it wasn't nothing deep, and you only stopped fucking with Kelsey because she went to the hotel to allegedly meet Tory, why didn't you want your best friend that was there with you when this shit happened, who also was affected, I would guess, by what she saw in the hospital room with you? So I don't find her to be truthful in that matter, because obviously something else made you feel away. Under no circumstances am I going to leave my best friend outside when I know the last time I saw her, she was in a fucking bikini with no shoes on. And I'm going to fly to New York without her? It wasn't logical to me. But anyway, Megan went into saying, I have never had sex behind Kelsey. Never. She said Kelsey called and told her she had linked up with Tory. And she said, how could you? Why would you do that? And she said that she felt betrayed. She said the last time she talked to Kelsey was when Kelsey hit her up and said, what am I going to do for money? That's what she says happened, child. And then they said, did you ever see Kelsey again after that? No. They said, did Quan shoot you? She said, no. Did Kelsey shoot you? No. They said, who shot you? Tory. They said, is there any doubt as to who shot you? She said, no. All right. The prosecution was done with her ass. Time for cross-examination. They said you was at Kylie house with Kelsey and EJ, and the incident happened after. They said, do you remember getting questioned on the curb? She don't fucking remember. They say, okay, you did an interview with the detective, the one that got fired, on July 16th over the phone. They said you had your reps and your attorneys on the phone, right? And they said, was Desiree on the phone? And I believe the answer was yes, that she had been on the phone. They said there was another interview in November in 2020. You remember that? She said, yeah. Gayle King. They said you went on Gayle King to be truthful? She said yes. So then the question was, well, why did you lie about having sex with Tory? If the whole point was to be truthful and you went up there this year to have a conversation with her, okay? They said, were you the one arguing and said that you were done and wanted to get out the car? And then you got back in the car? She said, yeah. And they said, why didn't you tell that you, that had happened and that he had shot you? She said, because I was scared. And then she repeated all that other regurgitated shit. He said, did you tell Gayle he offered you money? Yeah. They said, you were asked about a sexual relationship with Tory. And she said, yes. And so the defense said, so you lied to the detectives? Megan answered, yes. They said, you lied on national television? Megan said, yes. They said, you lied to the prosecutors? They said, yes. They said, so you lied for 2 years about having a sexual relationship with him. And then in 2022, when you sat with Gayle, you lied again. Yes. So they said, did you tell Gail that you the one that told Tory to come? And so she didn't. She did not say that she had invited him. They said, did you text or FaceTime Tory when you invited him over? She said she might have done both. They said, did you FaceTime Tory with Kylie on the phone? She don't remember. She said, but I probably did. So I think she really was trying to get him over there. Megan said she got there early evening, had been there about 5 hours before Tory got there, and had taken maybe 6 shots. They say, did you greet Tory at the door? She don't remember. He had to get in some type of way, but she don't know. She don't remember how he got in the goddamn house, even though she invited his ass.
Hey, hold on. And again, I know they want you to tell this story uninterrupted, but I with the amount of time she's saying she don't remember, do they bring up or do they mention the fact that it might not be she don't remember because it happened 2 years ago? It might be she don't remember because she's fucking too drunk.
That is exactly what they asked. Do you not remember because you were drunk? Okay. They absolutely did ask that question. Downplayed to me her drinking, and what they did was they highlighted the fact. They said, did you tell them that Kelsey was passed out in the house? And she said, yeah, I don't recall what her body was in the house, but yeah, she was drunk. And I think that was basically to paint the picture that if all of y'all were drinking together and Kelsey passed the fuck out, you wasn't drunk too? Everybody else just got wasted as fuck, but you was fine. You took a few shots and cooked some food. Okay. They said, did Tory have to take shots to get in the house? She don't recall that. She said she was ready to go home. So they said, you were ready to go home. Were you ready to go home because Tory was with Kylie? And you wanted to, she said she wanted to leave because her hair was messed up. And she said, EJ walked up to her and said, girl, your hair's slipping. He said, so EJ did not tell you that you were acting out? You needed to leave? You was doing too much? No, that didn't happen. He just said that her wig was slipping. They say, EJ drove you there? She said, yeah. They said, why you didn't leave with EJ? He the one that brought you. And they say, EJ waited for you, right? And she was like, no, he didn't wait for me. But she trumped herself up in that shit because they outlined how they moved the things. She had EJ go pack her shit up in the house, put it in the luggage and put it in Tory's car. So he was basically saying, well, if it wasn't that deep with Tory, why you didn't fucking leave with him, who you came with? They said, did Tory or Quan even know that you were supposed to be riding back while you was putting shit in their car? Did y'all agree to that? She said no. So this is like a power. Who do you think you are to take over a nigga fucking vehicle and move your shit in his car? Basically, is what I was picking up.
Did she admit that pretty much they got loud and Kylie kicked all of them the fuck out?
No. She said she wanted to go because her wig was slipping. Acknowledge
really?
What's happening in Kylie's house. She said that she recalled having a purse and that the luggage could have been Kelsey's in the car. And Kelsey, you need to be paying attention to that because the whole thing is people asking all these damn questions about all these bags and shit up in this car to me to imply that this weapon could have been anywhere and all that kind of shit. And Megan sat up there and said there might have been Kelsey bags. She denied the damn bag. Even when they showed her the bags, she said, I got a lot of bags. She never claimed the shit in the car. So, girl, keep that in mind because I know your ass sitting up watching someone, girl, and good luck tomorrow. So, now they trying to paint the picture. They said, so you want to go with Tory, but he didn't want to leave. But your shit was in EJ car. So they said you had them put the stuff in Tory car. And she said, yeah. She said, nobody knew that you was going to ride with them. She said, no. They said, and you didn't want to leave with EJ? She said, no, I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave you. You said earlier that you wanted to leave. So what did you leave yet? So she got in the car with Kelsey and Quan. She had no memory of going back, almost getting home and then asking to come back. They said, so you never told anybody that you left your slides at Kylie's house so that they would take you back to Kylie's house? She don't remember that. She said Tori was in the back seat. They said, do you remember Kylie telling you that you need to leave? But she shook her head yes. She nodded. She said no. I swear to God, right hand to the man. They said, does Kelsey back up your argument in the car? So they say, she said, yeah. They said, do you know like where you backing up at? And she said she don't remember. And then so she said, do you remember that Tory said that, Kelsey, why you backing up somebody that's, you know, that's betraying you by sleeping with me? And then she said, yeah. They said, did you ever say, why would you say that to Tory? And she said, yes, I did ask him why would he say that. And then so they said, she turned on me and she said that you backdoored her. Is it true that Kelsey said that you backdoored her? She said, they said, did you ask her what that meant when she said you backdoored her or ask anything about it? Megan said, I don't remember what I said to Kelsey, but I don't feel like I said nothing. Yes, she said I backdoored her, but I've never backdoored her. And I didn't ask her nothing about why she said that, and I don't know why she said that. I've never slept with anybody behind Kelsey, and she's never done that to me. That's what she claimed. She said, Kelsey liked Tory. She said it was no reason for me and Kelsey to argue, even though she has acknowledged that Kelsey just found out that she was having sex with Tory. She says there was no reason for us to argue. And so they show her some paperwork, and they said, when Kelsey said that you backdoored her, she said probably nothing. They said, did you talk about Kelsey getting upset and that this wasn't the first time? She was like, yeah. They said, even though you slept with Tory, Kelsey was mad at him and not mad at you. And that's how she tried to put it. Like, yeah, she was upset with him, not me. She was backing me up. She said after that, the shit switched because she said Tory stopped calling them bitches and hoes. So they banded together after Tory started being very disrespectful to them, that they start arguing back with him, getting disrespectful. So that Kelsey, she said Kelsey was on her side, even though Kelsey had just found out that she had fucked the nigga. And even though Megan acknowledges that Kelsey said, okay, this ain't the first time you done backdoored me. She trying to act like it was nothing else was said. They just start jumping on Tory. It's not logical. Let me see. The police interview. They asked her about that on day one. They said moments after the interview said that there was a verbal argument. They said the police report says that you got a fight with Kelsey. Megan the Stallion said, that's what that paper says, but I don't remember that.